Hello everyone, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use a NOT gate or an inverter. Although it might be a simple gate which only flips the input data, it is fundamental in the realm of engineering, since it fetches the inverse of a specific input. Before proceeding to the demonstration, let's prepare the materials to be used. Breadboard, 5 LEDs, 5 2 1/2 kilo ohm resistors. In my case, I use 1 kilo ohm. Push button, 5 volts power source, 74LS04 IC. This is the inverter gate that we will use. Male-to-male hookup wires. This demonstration familiarizes the learner with the functions of the inverter with the conjunction of the components to be used. Tools such as multimeter can be used in order to measure certain parameters of the components, such as resistance, and soldering iron if you are planning on soldering the components. After preparing the materials, ensure that these materials are functioning properly in order to have an easier debugging process later on. Test each component by making simple circuits involving the components you want to test. I am assuming that you are aware of how a breadboard works and which holes are connected. After that, let's assemble the circuit. In order to have a safe demonstration, some safety precautions should be taken. This includes wearing of PPE, such as safety goggles and gloves. Since we are dealing with a low voltage, it is not needed. Based on personal experiences, plugging the power in an improperly grounded source runs you at risk of electrical shock. In order to avoid this, make sure the power source is properly grounded or has low voltage. In handling components, avoid holding pins to avoid bending them and injuring yourself. For a clean circuit, it is recommended to make a digital circuit first using certain softwares. I'm using Tinkercad in my case since I am familiar with it. Here, I am showing the digital version of this circuit. There might be slight differences with the look of the circuit, but functionally, they are identical. You can use any software as long as it is comfortable for you and gives you the results that you desire. It is easy to get lost when assembling the circuit, especially with the long jumping cables. To start, I lay out the significant parts. This includes everything except the hookup wires and the power supply. By doing this, nothing gets in the way of assembling the important components. After assembling the necessary components, it's time to connect them with jumper cables. Now that the circuit is assembled, it's time to attach the power supply. Here, I am using an Arduino Uno R3 since it has a 5 volts output. It is not recommended to use a 9 volts battery since it might damage the IC according to the simulation. Now that the circuit works, I will discuss what is going on in the circuit. All the LEDs except L1 have connection to the inverter gate. L1 just copies the push button signal, so when the button is not pressed, it's off. L2 passes through one NOT gate. Whatever the push button signal is, L2 outputs the opposite. L3 and L4 is a double NOT, or what I would like to think as a double negative. So the two cancel each other, and the LEDs function with respect to the push button's current state, or identical to L1. L5 has 3 NOT and outputs an inverted signal to the LED. NOT gates have a wide array of applications, especially in conjunction with other gates, such as AND or OR gates. A common use for them is sensing luminance or temperature. If there is only a need for opposite scenarios, an inverter gate is an ideal choice. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new.